I think she likes purpose, I've got to be honest. Hey guys, I'm Dave Thornton. I live in Melbourne. I'm a stand-up comedian. Well, when that doesn't work, I guess I'm just a guy who stands on stage and embarrasses himself. I was also a Sunny Crust drawing competition winner in 1989. No biggie. And I'm also, of course, a LifeChanger Ambassador. It's interesting with what I do. People talk about confidence all the time and they might wonder where I get the confidence to go on stage. As naff as it sounds, it's usually preparation. I try to write as much as I can. I try to rehearse it and I try to learn it. And I try to keep my nerves down by remembering to breathe, remembering to center myself. And as when all those things fall into place, as I'm walking on stage, there's also a nice little trick, and I'll probably beat this out. But you just think to yourself, fuck it, what's the worst thing that could happen? And that'll get you through it. But if you tell your parents, I didn't tell you that recommendation, okay? That was someone else. Maybe blame it on Dave Hughes or something. It was definitely his fault. He's the one who said it. He'd swear all the time, wouldn't he? Uzi. Negative self-talk, it's an interesting one, that, because not to sound like a doofus, but I've got a creative brain. Like I always was into drawing and, I like things that are creative. And when you've got a creative brain, it's kind of like a dog in a yard. It's running every which way, and you sometimes just can't get it, sit it still. So it creatively can be good, but it creatively can be bad too. Like the amount of storylines that I've made up in my own head that this hasn't gone well and that hasn't gone well. But then you realise they're not real. They're just thoughts that you've had, and they're there to protect you. They're there to make sure you don't look like an idiot, and they're there to make sure that you're nice to people and you're trying to figure out what they're thinking sometimes, but sometimes they can really bury you. And I try to take a breath and try to figure out objectively if those thoughts are true or not, because sometimes they are. Sometimes they're thoughts that, the reality sometimes can be harsh at things and you have to swallow that. But then other times you just have to think, is this real, what I'm thinking? It's good to talk to people about it as well. Sometimes they're the hardest things to talk about because you don't want to and you feel like a bit of an idiot. But if there's people that you trust, be it good friends of yours, and if they're good friends, they'll listen to you. Your parents, could be an uncle or an auntie, could be a next door neighbour, could be a teacher, could be anyone. It could be a garden variety stand-up comedian that you want to talk to. And if you can talk those things through, sometimes someone else can decipher as well whether they're real or not. Because sometimes they can feel very real to you because they're inside your head. But when you take your problems for a walk, I always think, they don't seem as bad. Once you pull them out of the shadows, they don't seem as big and tall and gruesome as you think. People that have inspired me throughout my life, and I don't mean this as a joke, like Michael Jordan did inspire me when I was a kid. He, just as a sports person, I think, what he accomplished is amazing. Comedy-wise, there's so many comedians that have inspired me. I was brought up on Marx Brothers movies, which is it was old when I was young, so I'm probably hazarding a guess that most kids wouldn't even know what Marx Brothers is, but Groucho Marx was an inspiration of mine. I seem to change every week. I'll read about different people doing different things and find inspiration from them. Even my partner, if I've got to be honest, this may freak out some of the kids watching this, but I witnessed the birth of both of my children and my partner was amazing. If you've seen a woman give birth, you'll know they're much stronger than men. If men had the option to give birth, we probably would say no. So that was fairly inspirational. And during the weird year, 2020, no doubt your kids all know about COVID-19, I've had a lot of inspiration from my friends and what they've gone through, because there can be some tough times, but they've pulled it out, which has been pretty inspirational. I think that is about to do it.